Welcome back. Well, Airbus India has confirmed that it has retrofitted 95% of its aircraft with Pratt Whitney engines. Now adding that the complete retrofitting will be completed in a time frame of 2 months. Speaking to CNBC TV 18's Jude Sanet on the sidelines of Aero India 2019, the company's MD Anand Stanley also said that it was still in talks with Indigo for sale of wide-body aircraft. Take a look at that.
The Pratt Whitney gear turbofan engine is a brand new designed engine, and I'm really pleased to tell you that we've made significant progress on this. The reliability rate right now of the aircraft with those engines in India have touched 99.6%, which is phenomenal. So that is today. We've reached that number today. Another point I want to tell you about is that in the last 12 months, we've worked very, very closely with the engine manufacturer, with the regulatory authorities, with the airlines, and multiple other partners. In the last 12 months, we have reduced the issues because of our issue resolution by 4x. By 4x. That is the amount of issue reduction we've seen. Right now, we have retrofit most of the engines of the Neo fleet. If there were any issues, 95% of the aircraft have been retrofit, and in the next 2 months, we will reach 100%. I've heard that from Pratt & Whitney. So let me continue more on this. In terms of the in-flight shutdown rate, the global benchmark is 0.05. In India right now, we have reached the number of 0.02, which is 60% lower than that. So right now we're ready to go, and there are bright days ahead of us in terms of the A321 and the A320neo.
Right days ahead, no doubt. But tell me a little bit, what is the plan really to boost and enhance your partnership with Indigo with regard to the wide-body aircraft? Indigo has, of course, plans to induct a wide range of these aircraft into the fleet. So wide-body-wise, what's the plan like as far as Indigo is concerned?
Sure. So let me tell you, we're very humbled and honored that Indigo has been working with Airbus all these years, and we have a very strong backlog with Indigo right now. In terms of their plans, we are working with them just on the planning process. So far, most of our conversations have been around the single aisle, which is what we have been doing. We have sold a number of single aisles, which is the A320s and the A321s. Now, Indigo is in the process of planning their international routes, their long-distance routes, and we are just in the initial stages of conversation with them. I am unable to talk about any of their plans because they are in the planning stages right now. But let me tell you something. Most importantly, I want to shift the focus to India. Out of our middle-class people of 300 million, only 10% have ever stepped into a plane. That's 30 million people, and only 10% of that 3 million have flown internationally. So we're talking about this. We have not even started to go outside of India. So the future is extremely bright. We have a product portfolio of the A320 that can go internationally, the A321 that can go further long ranges, the A321 long range, which can go from here, from Delhi, straight to Frankfurt or to Tokyo. And then we come to the A330neo. It is exactly the same cockpit as the A320. It is just an extension. It has the same cost per seat. And when you buy an A330neo, you save about $7 million of transition costs. So I just wanted to give you an optimistic picture of long range and international travel.
Okay, well, here is more from NASSCOM India's Leadership Forum. From the sidelines, Kritika also caught up with the CEO of Emphasis, Nitin Rakesh, and began by asking him about the industry guidance and outlook going forward. Listen in.
Are you confident you'll be able to cross this or come in the middle of that 7 to 9%?
I think we are going to be well past it. Right. We already talked about it. If you look at the 3-quarter track record, we are in the low to mid double digits.
Yeah.
That's our stated goal, is to grow above market, and I think we will end the year strong.
Okay. The other point that NASSCOM has said here is that for FY20 it doesn't make sense to kind of give guidance anymore. One is the lens is changing to include several other players like e-commerce and startups, etc. But the other point is that there is a lot of uncertainty in the geopolitical and the global environment. What to your mind are factors that you would be concerned about that could play spoil sport?
I think firstly, let's look at, they gave you more data than they normally do, which means they actually gave you a pretty comprehensive survey of what the industry CEOs are looking at. The primary driver is the fact that at a mega trend basis, the secular trend is investment in technology is not going away. from every enterprise segment, right? Whether you're a bank, insurance company, retailer, manufacturer, your spend on tech is only going up because that's become the primary mode of differentiation, customer engagement, personalization, analytics, all the things put together. Now, in that backdrop, I think it's fair to say that we had a pretty decent FY19.
You speak to clients across the world.
Sure.
There is an initial sense or a fervor or a tremor, so to speak, about the possibility of another economic slowdown around the corner. A couple of investors have spoken about that. Are your clients bracing themselves for that, and are you bracing for that possibility?
I think our job is to do scenario analysis, scenario planning, and then look at plan A, plan B, plan C. So absolutely, to me it looks like the media is wanting a recession. Our clients are not yet there yet, but I think if we settle somewhere between a recession and a Garara year, then we are talking about a slowdown. What that means though is, my view is I don't think the investment in new technology is going away, because that has become an existential issue. It's a boardroom conversation, it's a CEO agenda. What that means is that the pressure on traditional IT will intensify, which means that the pricing pressure, the renewal pressure, the size of the deal, all of the things that we've heard about over the last 2 or 3 years will be as intense as it has been. And what that means is you have to have a really differentiated set of services to be able to sustain that pressure.